Hey everyone, so it is November the 28th. I'm doing this reading on, or for, depending on how you want to look at it, Kara. And I don't know much about her other than she is a supermodel. She dated a celebrity that I did a reading on in the past and people requested her. Actually, it's not very recently. It's probably been like a few months in the making of her. It's not her energy that I'm being guided toward, it's more of just like the energy surrounding her and like her guardian angels, and just like it's kind of this, it just kind of happens like with me where it's like the preparation before I do a reading on someone, or even before someone comes to me for a reading. I can feel it kind of coming into alignment, and so I was feeling that. And then I did a Megan Thee Stallion video and I could feel her energy. I could feel Kara's energy. Again, not necessarily her energy, it's more of just the energy. When I say energy surrounding her, I mean of light. So like her guardian angels, I could feel intuitive hits towards her guardian angels. And then I did this last video on Balenciaga and the same thing. And so how I want to start this video out for you, Kara, is basically you need to trust yourself in the sense that if you feel, this is more of like validating something for you. So if you feel that some sort of ritualistic event, whether this is like a sexual ritualistic energy harvesting type of thing, happened to you under the influence, you would be correct. That is a valid, you perceive that accurately. That really did happen. You're not crazy for believing that. You didn't make that up. You are imagining it. And it's an interesting way that I'm seeing this, where basically, like, on one hand, I'm being confirmed in the way that I word things. So let me just say it like this, okay? So in my mind, I'm saying how the majority, I'm gonna say the vast majority of people who are in these occults or in Hollywood or in DC, who are into these dark things, or who claim to be, you know, witches or warlocks, or pray to these demons, or whatever kind of sort of things they're into, the majority of them are degenerates. They have no they're nothing. They just are really like getting how do I say this? They are just pawns and they don't realize that, or it's like their ego will not allow that because they think that they're so special and they're this and that and this and that, when the demonic energy is just, it's loyal to no one. So and they're literally just nothing. And so what they really rely on are people who are mystics, or who are able to see beyond the veil, in order to basically they recruit unhealed mystics, or they recruit mystics. And you know, that's secret societies, right? Secret society of psychics and all these other kind of things is not good, right? Like, why would you hold this information back, right? Like, why wouldn't you be loving? Why wouldn't you be enlightening? Why wouldn't you discover and rediscover and try and understand the deep meaning of everything, so that you could share that with other people, right? Instead of keeping it like you're special and you can be responsible or control people, right? Because it's a control mechanism is what it is. But it's based off of using people who actually have the ability to, you know, they're manipulating control, they're manipulating good, right? Because good is the only thing that's powerful. And so if you can intercept free will, if you can intercept people's creative talents and abilities, then you can corrupt the system and control the system. And so that's just kind of, hopefully I'm not going all over the place with that. So that's kind of the narrative that I'm seeing in my head, right? But then I'm being overcorrected in the sense that the collective guardian angels are saying, while that may be true as far as how you perceive it, it's also true about the message of unconditional love. Irregardless of where they meet you, right, in their corruption, they are meeting you as far as they can meet you because they are unhealed. They are internally allowing corruption because they aren't wanting to, they struggle with the trauma that they have inflicted on others and have been inflicted upon them. And so again, they can only meet you as far as they can meet themselves. And so if they cannot unconditionally love themselves, that is where the criticism, that is where the attack, that is where the placing of hardships onto you originates. And so when you identify that and you understand that, then you can detach yourself from their traumas, from their attacks, from their belief systems, from their actions, because they rely on traumatizing you to make you feel unlovable, to make you feel unforgivable, to make you feel like you've gone too far down a certain path, or you've done too much wrong. And that's kind of again with the secrecy and all this stuff, where, you know, when you look at unconditional love and you look at the true system of truth and the holy belief, which is when you, like, no one has power over you but yourself and like your journey, and your truth are your truths. And so no matter what you've done, you are still loved. You are still important. You still can change direction, and you can still be healed. You can be cleansed if you so choose. If you sincerely choose to recorrect your path, then you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that. That is your soul's truth anyway. Everything else is it's just trivial. Honestly, it's trivial. So basically what I'm saying is, like, you need to honor your truths. You need to honor your path. You need to honor your past and your past mistakes, or your past transgressions, and identify within you what you know is true. Because if you also understand and believe that these people have no inherent power, the only power is within good, if you understand that they have no inherent power and that they are probably more than likely lying to you because they lie to you about so many other things in life, then you need to trust yourself. You need to trust yourself, because there are very few people like you I mean, it's correct but incorrect in the sense, because there are so many people like you, but because I don't want to make it seem like it would be so difficult for you to find, like, your soul family, or like find your people, right? Like, there are actually a lot of people who would genuinely understand you, believe you, trust you, respect you, honor you, and not use you to their advantage. because I can see this range of people. It's like people who are like so corrupt that they're like you know, they get like messy and so arrogant that they think they're invincible, so they just like loud and proud, and it's like so easy to catch them. And once you kind of smarten up, you know, it's like once you mature, then you kind of look around and you're like, whoa, like I don't know how I was, you know, it's just kind of like what you kind of grew up around because you're in the same kind of mindset or whatever. But then there's the level above that of people who are corrupt and who are preying upon that because they you know, it's like they're of sober mind or whatever, but they're of a corrupt mind. So you get what I'm saying? So it's like branching up the levels and then detaching yourself from that system completely. And there is a very big community. We'll say that it's a big community, but it is a community. It is an offset of really like kind, generous, loving, compassionate, accepting people who would protect you, who would see you for who you truly are. Because what I'm seeing is there's something about your, I'm gonna say it's like your most recent significant past life that's coming up. And in this significant recent past life, I don't know if it's the most, it's like, I don't know if it's your last past life, whenever that may be, but it feels like the most recent significant impactful one is a relationship that you were in, and it was it involved children. So it was a masculine and feminine in body on earth, and it involved children, and it involved it's something to do with like it was a good family unit in some way, or it's like you are very proud of your children. You there's a part of you that looks up to your children because of what they have accomplished, and so there's some sort of flashbacks you're getting or something like that, and it's causing some sort of disagreement inside of you. It's almost confusing because you're not straight in this life, and so there's like a discomfort. It's a discomfort, and it's pulling at this past life for some reason, because it's like obviously there's an imbalance in this life. There's usually always there's always imbalances, but I mean, like, I don't know. I do know, but it's just that'll go too far off track of what I'm trying to say. But basically, there was not an imbalance of the way that you raised your kids, I don't believe. Maybe a little bit here and there, like the normal kind of things, but you raised some really amazing children in this past life. The relationship that you had feels okay. It also feels okay, but there's a part of that felt like something was missing. It's not necessarily unfulfilling, but something was missing there. You would know in greater detail because I'm just like barely glancing at the surface. But point is that you are, something's triggering in you in this life of this past life, and it's causing a lot of disruption because of your sexual orientation in this life. And not only that, but it's like it's triggering some unhealed thing that needs to be healed. And ultimately what it comes down to, I feel, is unconditional love of self. Unconditional love, irregardless of anything that you've done. And I think this kind of ties back to your children, because as you had kids in this past life and you saw how proud they made you and how accomplished they were in your eyes of just being good people, you know, they were successful, but they were just genuinely good people, then that is a part of the healing that happened within you of saying, you know, it's like the beauty that can occur even in someone that feels a little incomplete. It's like, I can still create a vessel, I can still create beyond this of something that is honest and pure and beautiful. And what I see in this life is you repeating that in the sense of some sort of creative expression, whether this is the way that you model or if you're an artist, because it feels artistic. Like whatever it is really artistic in the way that you perform or in the way that you project yourself. And you're doing it again, except you see with kids, then you have, they create generations and generations and generations. Well, if your sexual orientation is not conducive to having biological children, you could still have that same kind of expression in the sense that as you have creative, unconditional, accepting, truthful, artistic truths or artistic work brought out, then that, it's like, I'm just seeing how it impacts the world and generations impacts the world, right? Like when you make an impact on someone's life, that transforms that person, whether good or bad. And then that impact, you know, that kind of creates a part of a person, right? Like every person in life, they are carrying little bits and pieces of people from their past, right? And so it's like, what are you doing that creates little peace in someone's heart that cultivates who they become and thus the next generations? So you're doing the same thing, but with like a creative project or projects that are of who you truly are. And so I'm seeing that you're not going back to these types of people that I talked about. I feel like what I just talked about of you like finding this community of people, and it feels like a deep healing and deep respect for yourself, in the sense that you're creating some clear boundaries, and you're even saying an understanding. I think you already come to this understanding, this conclusion, but you're deepening your resolve in this of saying, nobody took anything from me. No one is able to take anything from me. I give that authority to preserve me for me. I give the authority to keep my energy where it can enlighten. You know, it's like really just this deep, deep, deep healing. And from this healing, it's just strengthening. It's a re-strengthening and a the way they're showing me is they're showing me like a flower, right? And so it's like a tomato. They're showing me like a tomato plant, actually, where it's like you can cut the tomato, the bottom of the tomato, you know, and then it'll grow roots, you know. So it's like they're cutting at you like the tomato plant, and then you're making roots, so you're actually becoming very, very, very strong and fruitful. So you're producing massive and massive and massive amounts of manna is what I'm seeing, is like manna. Tomatoes, but manna. So yeah, you're gonna find your people. This is the biggest thing, is let go. Let go. You need to walk away, which I feel that you're doing. You are letting go, and you are walking away from people that hurt you and beliefs that cut at you, and internalizing what people are saying or internalizing what people are doing to you, when that's never been about you to begin with. It's projections onto you. You're an inspiration. You are definitely a divine inspiration. It's honestly, it's so natural for you and effortless for you in a way that I don't think you even really understand. And the word I'm getting is like appreciate. Like, it's like, but it's okay because it keeps you humble. But you really have no idea. You have no idea. You have no idea. Reflection. And what I'm seeing here is like, they're showing me the process of the tomato plant, and like before the roots come through. And it's like there's a deep healing that happens, right? Even in the winter time, it's a time of rest and healing. And so it feels like you don't always have to be doing something. You don't always have to be moving towards something or trying to rediscover something or try to understand something, like with regards to you or your journey or whatever. Like, sometimes it is important to just take a step back and let go and release it and just give it up to faith and be like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired. And you need that rest time. That's very important for you, to just be, to just allow, right? Letting go is allowing. When you let go, it's like that tension. It's like let go. It's like just allow. It's like holding on to something so tightly, like a string, and then just being like, just let it go, and you'll see that you didn't even have to be holding all that tension on it. It wasn't gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna go anywhere. And I just see that with like, I don't know, it's like what I'm really hearing, perfectionism. It's like let go of the need to be like so precise or so perfect in everything that you say and do, and all of that is just, it's like even letting go of just like releasing what it is that you need to say. What is it that you like? Just do it, because it's gonna come out the right way. Like, just be confident in yourself. Because I just see so much love like swirling around you. It just feels like positive energy swirling around you. And as soon as you kind of just release that tension, it opens up your heart. It opens up your heart in order to bring in this love. Or it's like, it's kind of like even with the connection to the past life, like maybe it's like you constantly trying to like perceive things and understand things and make sense of things that have happened, whether it's past lives, current life, you know, all this kind of stuff, or like how you're feeling, how you're not feeling, what's true, what's not true. And it's like, what can you do right now to just forget about it? Like, not forget about it, but just let your mind be present in the moment. Like, is there a waterfall? I'm just seeing, like, I have a fountain over there, and then I saw a waterfall. It's like, is there a waterfall you can go to? I'm not gonna read these all out but we have listen to only love. You are a very sensitive person. And by vulnerable, I don't mean that you're like vulnerable to attack. I don't feel that. I feel your heart is very open and vulnerable. Everyone has the ability to be vulnerable, but there's something so inspiring. Like, this is part of your path. is this vulnerability, is this openness, is this honoring of your creative talents and truths. I do feel like there's some other project that you're going to involve yourself in. I don't know if you're also an actress, or it could even be like, it kind of reminds me of like those gardening shows. So I don't know if you would have like a TV show, or like, I was going to say YouTube channel. I don't think it's but it's, I guess maybe they're trying to show me like Netflix or something when I see a YouTube channel where it's like really like you have the creative control, basically. Maybe that's what I'm saying. It's like you have the creative control over this particular project. It could be like travel. It's showing you, like, that's what I'm saying, is like, because that's when I say YouTube, it's like a vlogging style. So it's like one of those travel channels, or like, you know, even the gardening channels. It's like very, you're like very connected to the person that is narrating. And so I feel like you're a narrator for something. And it's just like it's a different avenue than you've done. At least to this capacity. We have breaking free, honoring your true feelings, and dreams coming true. There's a waterfall on this. So it looks like she's quilting. She's quilting like a leaf. Quilting a leaf or something. I don't know if you're into quilting. Maybe it could be like a fashion thing. It doesn't really feel like, it doesn't feel like fashion to me, honestly. Or if it is, then it would be, again, like quilting, of like showing how some other talent that you have, some other talent and ability, but it's really a focus on you, like your personality. And this looks like a water. There's something about a waterfall that's important here. It could be symbolic, but I feel like a literal waterfall is very important here. And with family harmony, I was getting this in the sense of like when I was talking about, I don't know if I really like, I don't know, basically forgiving your family and like the projections, and the lack of unconditional love is the lack of unconditional love for themselves. And there is something associated with your family with regards to this. And so it's saying to push forward through that. And they're kind of taking me back to what I was talking about with my family in one of my videos, where sometimes having these boundaries and like completely exiting them out of your life or whatever kind of thing, or like having some sort of guard up, can be perceived as healthy, right? But there has to be a true forgiveness and a release of that. There has to be that acceptance that that's something that I didn't like, that's something I don't agree with, but it happened, and now I have to move on from that. I need to move past that. I need to move forward from that. I can't just hang on to that, because in some ways of you creating that boundary, it's unhealed. It's just kind of scabbing it over, or not even scabbing it over, but just covering it. It's just covering it and leaving that pain quiet. Leaving that pain quiet over there, right? 2959 is the number that I'm seeing, so I would look up that number, 2959. Significant. Again, trust your intuition. Trust your intuition. With make music, I don't know, I mean, it could be a musical pursuit as well, but I feel like if it's a musical pursuit, it would have to really be, again, you would be the lyricist. it reminds me kind of like Michael Jackson, because they're showing me Michael Jackson, how he would even play like all the instruments, and he would like even vocalize all the different sounds of all the different instruments. And so he was creating every single piece of it, you know, if not all, then the majority of it. And so it would have to be something like that, where it is mostly, if not all, you and all about you. And you're really, really good at it, and you're going to be really, really, really good at it. And it doesn't even matter necessarily what the world thinks of it, because that may not reflect, right? Like, again, unhealed people can only meet you to a certain capacity, or like you know, you get what I'm saying. But what matters is that it comes from the heart. What matters is that it's authentic. What matters is that it's you. What matters is you love what you do. You believe in what you do, and you feel you are doing what's right for you, because there's a huge, huge energetic reward when it comes to this. A karmic reward, energetic rewards, like a enlightened spiritual reward from this. And I'm not gonna lie, it comes through, and this is, I don't know a better way to word it than to how I hear it, because it feels like it would put a lot of, like, intellectually or like rationally, I'm like, this could put a lot of pressure on someone, but what I'm actually hearing is it's going to save a lot of people. What you do and how you heal and how is going to heal and save a lot of people, just simply by breaking free of the confines of your mind, of your pain, of your past, of people's past projections onto you, of future projections onto you, the fear of projections onto you, the feeling of being irredeemable, the thought of being irredeemable, recognizing that you are deserving and redeemable irregardless of anything that you've said or done or experienced. That's not the truth. The truth is the divine truth, which is an unconditional love. And as you break free from that and you make your music, you make your mark, you continue to make your mark, you will not go back. You cannot go back. You will not go back. You refuse to go back. And you haven't gone back. There is actually, it feels like you don't even resonate with that anymore. Whatever it is in your past, you don't resonate with that anymore. And so it's more about putting that into your physical reality to make that really, make that transition, right? And you can't force this connection of people who I've talked about that are good for you into your life, right? Energetically, they're being drawn into your life. Energetically, you're drawing yourself into experiences that will allow yourself to meet them and to be with them and to surround yourself with them. Do you have people like this already in your life? Likely, but it's very unlikely that the majority, like, that there's many of them. There would be like maybe one or two people in your life that currently that you can trust, and beyond trust, that are meant to be a permanent fixture in your life. And that's not to dishearten you, it's to empower you, because those people are out there, and it's not lonely at the top. It's lonely on the way to the top. Once you're at the top, everybody else who's gotten through those difficulties are going to be up there waiting for you. So it's only lonely on the way to the top. Alright, that's what I see. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.